Who live now? Myself?
Yes, all of us are alive. We all
Okay, so I start first or you, Pablo?
yeah.
Yeah,
Let me.
Pablo's gonna get us going, and then we'll just
Okay.
follow his lead.
All right.
We also garinagu. Good night, everybody. Good evening. This is another live broadcast of Maria Garinagu. I have two guests tonight. Um, that's gonna be giving us their perspective on certain items. Maria Garinagu was created about 2 years ago of the purpose of seeing things from the Garifuna perspective. A lot of things affect us. We see it from other people's perspective, other cultures' perspective, but not the Garifuna perspective. So, Mobriga Garinagu was created to see politics, economics, um, everything that affects Garifuna society from a Garifuna perspective. So tonight we have Trevor Palacio and Joseph Miranda, who's going to be talking to us about the symposium that happened last month in LA. And we'll be talking about financial literacy and the importance of life insurance. So, Trevor, tell us about the symposium that happened in LA a month ago.
Yeah, so November 8th and 9th, we were in Los Angeles, California for our third annual Garifuna Consortium Symposium. The first one was in Houston, Texas, 2017. Houston, Texas, and 2018. We did it in Chicago at Garifuna Flavor with Brother Joseph and Garinagu Luawan Suruni, Chicago. Sister Fidelis Nunez, Nana, and the rest of the team out there, Rodel Castillo. And then this year we did it in Los Angeles with Nick and Nix, Deshaun Arzu, Claude Beeks, Kev Nunez, Joyce Cayetano, Frida Sitter-Off, Bill Flores, Francois Estrada, Verlin Arzu. These are the people that had their hands in it. The third annual Garifuna Consortium Symposium. And we'll be having the fourth one in New York City in November the 7th and the 8th of, 2020. And this is an ongoing endeavor to open the eyes of our people to understand that we need to be politically organized. First and foremost, we need to be organized. And then we need to be politically organized if we're going to establish infrastructure for the Garifuna community that can lead to institutions. So we have people there from Honduras, Professor Tulio, Kenny Castillo was from Honduras. We had Clifford Herbert from Nicaragua. We have Dr. Gill representing St. Vincent. We had Bill Flores, Francois Estrada, myself, Joyce Cayetano representing Belize, yourself representing Honduras, Erica Slayton representing Belize. We had quite a few people there who understand that we have to come together. So I had a great experience with the symposium. Um, I was not disappointed at all. It was very beautiful. It was an organic manifestation, Pablo, and we need more of it.
I definitely agree. One of the highlights was the awards that we issued to the various person that arrived at the symposium. I mean, some persons they haven't received such a recognition from a Garifuna organization. They've been
Right.
recognized for the organizations, but not from Garifuna organizations. And I thought that was like a very good addition to the structure of the symposium. And also, when we did the altar
Right.
for a sister that passed away,
Anna Castillo.
yes,
Ana
and
Castillo.
I thought that was great. Andy Arzu, Andy Ordonez, and Santiman
Right.
and Bowie did a great job with the cultural section and entertainment. So it was a great package that we gave people whoever didn't attend, they missed a great night and a great weekend as well. And we got to bond and
Right.
learn a lot from each other.
Right.
We interacted with other like-minded Garinagu in LA who are progressive and they want to move the community forward. And I'm definitely looking for the next one here in New York. I'm looking forward to that.
Right. Brother Joseph, the symposium.
Yeah, well, I look forward for you hosting for us next year, Pablo, and but LA was quite dynamic. I mean, I love what I saw in LA, and the people being receptive, and just like to them, a lot of them that was new to them. So, which of course, again, that's how you know that we were kind of effective, taking our campaign around with our Garifuna Symposium. I mean, so much of our guests weren't even aware that that was the third symposium we had.
Right.
So, so I believe that heading to New York, that's gonna impact more people, and I love also the camaraderie coming from our international. I
Yeah.
mean, when it comes to Hebert from Nicaragua, I mean, this guy blow me away, man, with his
Yeah.
engineering
Yeah.
techniques and stuff like that. I mean, but these are the things that are there for us as Garinagu that we could discover within ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's the main purpose of this symposium. Where can we find our giants in order for them to be part of this community? You
Yeah.
see,
Right.
because just like I said, with the symposium, we are bringing exposure to ourselves.
Right.
So
Right.
hence the reason when you see people like Sadurov, I mean, she's already have an organization that
Yeah.
impacts the world along with her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
so so if you look at that, then you look at Estrada. I
Right.
mean, we have good networking system
Right.
that we gonna be putting in place. I mean, so I'm excited for New York, and I believe that we'll have more in attendance in New York. So
Yeah.
we depending on you, brother Pablo. I mean, you're already in all three of them.
Right.
So you know what we gonna be requiring. And also, I got to say kudos to our general host who usually hosts the show,
Right.
you know from Atlanta,
Yeah.
sister
Erica.
Erica.
Sister
Right.
Erica, man, she was
Yeah.
just phenomenal. I mean, and every time Erica, that individual, man, every time this girl is challenged, she comes through.
Right.
She will find some way of getting us through all day.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was so proud of her. I was so
Yeah.
proud of her. Sometimes she just tell me, Mr. Miranda, we're not gonna worry about this. I already have another idea how we're gonna present today. Man, I felt so good about that. I felt so good about that. So I mean, we have the quality people with us. It's just
Right.
a matter of, hitting our community and let people know that we are here. And you know what? We're here for their purpose.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
So as the voice of of the new Garifuna media, this is what Mabriga Garinago is. We're trying to change the conversation in regards to how we look at ourselves and how we should deal with things moving forward.
Right.
Because we have a lot of issues in Central America. We have a lot of communal issues here in Chicago, New York, LA, Houston. I mean, as you gentlemen know, well, maybe you may not know, we lost two
Yeah.
persons in the Garifuna community who have roots in Santa Rosa de Aguan, which is where my roots are from. The first one is a brother by the name of Oliver Askia.
Right.
His life ended across the street from my mom's building.
Right.
Wow.
He got shot in the chest. I don't know what happened, but my condolences to Tia
Right.
Juanita, which is an aunt of mine from Aguan. He's her oldest son.
Right.
Me and Trevor, we saw her. I'm not sure if I introduced her to Trevor in Premios Barauta back in October.
Right.
And then this morning, we have another member from the community from Aguan. His name is Juan Gomez. Juan Gomez comes from a very prominent family in Aguan. Um, he was sick. I found out he was sick on Saturday, and we lost him this morning.
Right.
So my condolences to the Gomez family, to the Castro family. Our prayers are with you. I'm just waiting to see when the viewing dates, so I could go over and pay my respects to those two families.
Right. All right.
But Yeah, go ahead, Trev.
I just want to extend blessings to everyone who is currently losing family members. Some expected, like Brother Gomez, because he was ill. Some unexpected, like Oliver, who was shot in the chest. You know, some who was unexpected, like Isaac Flores, 19 years old in Houston, Texas.
Right.
There's Derek Perry, 23 years old, out of New York, unexpected. There are the many lives that are being taken in places like Honduras, unexpected or expected, you know. So I want to say right now that I appreciate you guys, that I'm thankful to be in your presence. To the viewers who are with us, you know, don't take anything for granted, because one minute we're here and the next one we're not. And one of the parts of the second part of the conversation that we're going to have today, besides the consortium, is protecting our lives and protecting the living at the same time through life insurance. The importance of life insurance is something that a lot of us don't necessarily want to discuss, because I don't know, Pablo or Joseph, we think we're going to live forever. We don't think we're going to die. But again, we just had a conversation about the expected and the unexpected.
Right.
And Brother Joseph out of Chicago, he is one of our leaders with the Garifuna Consortium and the International Garifuna Council, who is focused on economic development. And economic development is a very broad scope that we could discuss from many angles. But the angle that we want to first focus on is literacy, financial literacy.
Right.
And part of financial literacy is understanding the value of your life and protecting it. And by understanding, Brother Joseph, that by protecting that individual life, then you know you're actually, that could be your nest egg in a sense.
And another thing is, it's your nest egg. Plus the thing that we kind of overlook is that once we value ourselves, because in us valuing ourselves as valuing our lives, we kind of take care of our community in a sense, because if all of our lives are being protected, it also continue to build our generational wealth, as Pablo had alluded to earlier in the conversation. Because what we plan on doing is, as much as we focus on the garinagu economical development,
Mm-hmm.
first of all we have to focus on our financial foundation for every Garifuna family.
Right,
And that comes with the literacy that we're gonna continue campaigning our community.
right,
All right, because there are basically four blocks to your financial foundation. And the four blocks is actually your protection. All right, which is the first one. Just like when you build any kind of structure, your protection is the main foundation of the structure.
right,
All right, that's the main foundation, protection. And why is that? Because the thing is, that's where the source come from. That's the breadwinner of the home.
right.
All right. So if that is unprotected, what's gonna happen when it's gone? We don't usually
It's
think about it.
right. It's gone.
It's gone.
Right.
You see, so that's the first thing that we have to start to teach ourselves,
Protection.
and our people in the community. The second, which is debt management. Manage ourselves. It's not everything that I see that I supposed to give my hard earned money, on that. I just got to waste my hard earned money. No, because the thing is, we are in the cycle that we have to go get it every day.
Right.
You see, so the thing is, we have to be conscious of how we kind of contribute to the consumer dilemma. We need to take care of ourselves. All
Okay.
right. And the third one is emergency fund.
Okay.
We call some people, hey guys, we'll have the symposium at this time, at this time. Oh, you know what, I won't be able to make it because something come up, so you won't afford it. But why? Because the thing is, we are not structured in a way that there is emergency fund which would have taken care of some stuff. Then you know what, we have also extra to be able to manage.
Right.
That's the purpose of emergency fund.
Right.
All right. And the fourth one, fourth block is the investment part. You see, so all these structures, we got to start educating our community about this. And the thing is, with all what I give you right there, those four blocks on the financial foundation, that's where life insurance come in also, which is protecting your life. And also in the same way that you protect your life, you also are preparing that, you know what, if the unexpected happens, the family is more than then prepared.
Is
You see,
life insurance expensive?
life insurance is not expensive.
Is it
Like,
expensive to bury someone?
it is expensive to bury someone, especially when it's unexpected.
Okay, so why is it? I want to hear something from Pablo. Why do you think, Pablo, and then Brother Joseph, if you could go back into why we should change this, Pablo? Why do you think that this is a fact in our community? One, we know life insurance is inexpensive. Two, we know that to bury someone, expected or not expensive, is expensive. Why don't we have life insurance?
I sincerely think, Trevor, that we just don't know because every funeral that I go to, persons are asking for like a fundraiser or they do a fundraising party to pay for the expense.
Right,
And this is unfortunately something very common in our community. Or
right,
people do a fund or GoFundMe or one of the crowdfunding, they go on a crowdfunding platform, just like the brother in Texas. Crowdfunding was $12,000. It costs that much to bury somebody. I mean, that's
right.
just for the funeral, but what about his grave? I mean, this person's that paid for the plot of land so they could be buried here in the Bronx. They paid monthly for that plot of land just to keep it there and then ensure that it's gonna be there. So
Yeah.
that's an expense, and we're not. I always think that in this experience that we having as a community, we're not prepared for these things, or we don't know, or we don't inquire. We're just basically surviving, and that's always been my theory. I haven't found anybody that could prove me wrong. We just
Right.
survived this experience here in America. We really are. I mean, life insurance is something really basic.
So you saying we don't know, Pablo?
I'm
Uh,
saying we don't know. We're just ignorant of the fact.
right.
One of the things is the language difference. Because a lot, I'm from Honduras. My parents are from Honduras. They weren't thinking about life insurance until later on. I mean, like years later into their
Right.
professional career that they were thinking about life insurance, or somebody told them about it. But sometimes the language barrier plays a role in that as well.
So it could also be a cultural thing too, Pablo. From the not knowing to language barrier, it could be a cultural thing because not every country has what we call life insurance, right?
That's what,
Available to the
depending
people.
on what social class you're in that country.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say, or you might be within a class who just can't afford it, and so out of mind, out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right.
But here we are in the United States of America, and a lot of people are crossing the border and dying at the border, right? Or dying at the shelter once they cross the border, right? So, Brother Joe, we have WSB, World System Builders, we're a financial group. Can you educate us a little bit on what that is? Because we're about to introduce this to the Garifuna community. as a means to learn not only financial literacy and knowing money, but knowing what to do with money so that we can graduate and actually thrive as a people. So WSB and WFG.
Okay, so when you look at WFG and WSB, WSB actually is the vehicle that WFG is using as a distribution source. Okay, so what do we distribute out there? We are distributing this financial
I gotta head out,
education.
guys. I have to head out.
Yeah,
Pablo, as y'all continue the conversation we had this earlier, I want to
yeah.
thank everyone for their time.
Hey,
Okay,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
blessings.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So the thing is, WFG, the organization itself uses WSB as the vehicle to promote the financial literacy. And this is something huge, Pablo, because when you look at what you were talking about earlier about the financial literacy in America, it's something that had affected the entire nation. Almost every household needs it at this time if we have to focus on even our retirement,
Right.
because all these things now, the way how we look at it, is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that the government will be able to sustain these millions and millions of people who are going to be retiring. You see, so hence the reason it is so important now that that we that we have the opportunity to take these workshops to our community and start to educate our people. And another thing also is that I'm not the only Garifuna person in WSB. You see, I even had I even had actually recruited Trevor, but because Trevor is still doing so many other things, but I know that he understands the importance of what we're doing.
Right.
You see, because just like life insurance, you see a lot of people like almost every weekend they're drinking a six pack. I mean, you can pay your life insurance policy just with the price of a six pack that you have. But the thing is, like I said, many of us are not educated. Many of us are not exposed. And the thing is that we see all of these advertisements and stuff like that. We still look away from it because of the fact is that, you know what? It's not important to me. But what I had noticed with what I do now with the campaign I does, Pablo, that when you sit with somebody and have that face to face, that kitchen table conversation, it's more I would say effective in the community. And another thing also, you basically disturb the mind. You basically disturb the mind. So when we get people into a setting that is so comfortable for them, that's when you know how people are become so receptive to these concepts. But all of it, at the bottom, but the bottom line is, all these things, we need the education. We need the education. People will tell you they don't have time for this stuff. I don't have time. I don't have time. But you know what? Sometimes we have to force ourselves to let the people know that, you know what? This needs to be part of your household. This is an household. This is a household responsibility that we all need to sit and think about it. And you know what? Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, tell the other person, so that, you know what, we don't come short of starting these GoFundMe stuff. Sometimes it's embarrassing to me. You understand what I'm saying? Because the thing, like I said, but it's not only us. So many people are living in this. This is one of the wealthiest nation of the world. But people every day go through this problem every day.
And also people don't understand, brother Joseph, that the older you get, and there's a health portion of acquiring life insurance as well. Like if you get older and you get a stroke or you get disabled, your insurance premiums will go up. I don't think a lot of people realize that it's better to get life insurance while you're young, before you age and you become more of a high risk of getting these different diseases and ailments.
Exactly. Of course. Yeah.
Something going on with the transmission. It's kind of slow.
How long they can you are top healthy. You are at your best. When you look at your ratings, you are the best, an elite. Because the thing is, anytime any diseases like stroke, heart attacks start coming into your life, you're already protected. You're already protected. So the key is you need to get insured at your earliest age. Do it at an early age when you are healthy, so that you know what, you pay pennies for the dollar for these policies.
So there's a difference in terminology as well. There's term limit, term
They have
insurance,
they
and
have
then
term they have term, which is they usually said you have permanent, and you have term, temporary. All right, so term insurance, uh, it doesn't have cash value. All right, term insurance doesn't have cash value, but permanent insurances have cash value in them. But there's another feature for term insurance, that it has living benefits also. Some of the term insurance have living benefits, just like critical chronic illness. Um, it would pay you certain amount of your death benefit when you actually become critical or chronic, and probably terminally ill. They give you the percentage of your death benefit. So that's another good thing about it, that you can actually uh, 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 get portion of your death benefit to take care of your ailment, during a critical or chronic illness. So that's another beauty about some term policies. But but your permanent policies, which are the UL, the VUL, the VL, I mean, they built these built-in cash value in there. So even with your insurance, you have some of them that has built-in cash value. So there's like an investment within that policy itself. You see, so you would have debt benefit, plus you have cash value in there, that you even can borrow, have loans out of those policies. With time that you have built cash value in there, you're able to get loan from them. And another feature about it, that you do these withdrawals tax free. But how many people know that? Not many of our people in our community know these things. So that's why, like I said, these are the education that we need to bring to our people. And it's something that I can always tell you, Pablo, it's something that you can do in New York.
yes, I definitely want to work on that. Definitely want to work on that. I mean, right now it's just so, I'm involved in so many things right now, but I definitely want to do engage in that because I mean, we just don't know. I just think the community doesn't know. Like people that need to know, they don't. That really need
That's
this.
true. and it's a fact. It's a fact. We so many of us don't know what we don't know. So many of us. So many of us don't know what we don't know, and that is like that is the campaign that we're doing. I mean, I have a conversation with brother Herman Cayetano the other day. It's just matter of that I'm planning on getting him on a Zoom, because the thing is, I can actually do this Zoom presentation for people. Once he gather people around, I can do a Zoom presentation from here for a group of people in New York.
Right.
To keep the campaign going, to keep the education going. Just like I'm talking to you here, I could have been presenting to. We can even make a presentation on Mabrigo Garino one of these days.
Right.
You know, we arrange that. We tell them, all right, there'll be a Zoom presentation for financial literacy on Mabrigo Gainagu. You set the date, and I get facilitators. We do that. We do that. So we'll have a community interactive session that we pass in this information to people. And another thing also is that we have we have we have the resources, we have the books, we have the classes that people go, and you educate yourself. So it's available. The only thing that I told people, just like I told them in the symposium the other day, is to make yourself available for the information.
Right.
That's all you need to do. The information, we got it. But the thing is, you got to make yourself available to get that information. You know, yeah. You got to be open minded. That's what people got to do. We have to stay open minded in order to get to benefit from these financial literacy program.
And that's unfortunate that, once we get here, it's like this is the promised land for a lot of people, and we just stop learning and just give up on building ourselves. Because once we hear, it's like we already made it, according to some people, but they don't understand that we have to use a lot of the benefits of being in this country, and one of them is acquiring life insurance.
And then I I got attracted to this company, and the reason why, it was through one of my cousins. But what had made me passionate about what I do is because I use it for my family, and it kind of give me a peace of mind also to always know that if something happen, that it won't create that grave burden on me, or maybe on my wife,
Right.
and my children. And that is the key, because you got to understand, Pablo, that we come here, all of us. Sometimes we have extended families, but one thing that I always try to remind people: if every one of us here is coming here to try, we are employees for some, we are employees for some employer. We won't be able we won't be able to manage ourselves when it comes to caring for one another, because there got to be a choice. You've experienced that with your mom.
Right.
I got friends that experienced that with their mom. Sometimes you have to make a choice. If I stay here with my mom, taking care of my mom, what's gonna happen? Who gonna take care of me? You understand what I'm saying? And it happens with a lot of families. People juggle with so much, but you know why? Because sometimes we don't pre-plan.
Right.
We got to a stage already that, you know what? If this was a generation that had actually missed it, or didn't get on board, it's time for us, you know what, to kind of rectify that going forward. That these things are necessary for every Garinagu community, Garinagu household, even our friends that come across us, that we can educate them about. Because you know what? As you start to work, you are healthy, you got to focus on long term care. You got to focus on terminal illness. Suppose something happened to me, you got to focus on life insurance. All these things are necessity. And you know what? When you lay down the foundation in its right place, you have a peace of mind. You have a peace of mind, because the thing about it is, it's not that you're doing it for you, but you're doing it for the people who you think that you are going to burden, sacrificing their time for you while you're lying down there. But because they won't be able to go to work, they still psychologically thinking of you who is disabled or can't do anything for yourself. You see? So all these things, all this education is a necessity for us later on, that you know what, we don't continue to burden one another with our disabilities. And it goes to our community. Our community lack our community lack a lot of development due to finance. All right. Financial literacy, simple. When you pass on to your heirs, when you die, your beneficiary, you if every family decide that, you know what, their household is insured $1 million, their household is insured for $5 million. What? I mean, when you pass on a $5 million to your heirs, I mean, that changed the entire lifestyle. That would change the entire lifestyle. And another thing is, think about if you already have them involved in this financial literacy campaign, that you know what, they understand about money. They know how to manage themselves. They know. I mean, it will continue. It will be a continuous education for the next generation, after the generation after a generation. And it takes a balloon effect, because once we establish these institution in our community, it would stay. It'll become a way of life. It'll become part of our culture. But we have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. I mean, we don't have to have our children be burdened here with student loan. No, we don't have to do that. If we prepare now, that we give them from year one to 18, 23, that we already set up the college funding for them. They don't have to go through that burden. But like you said, the information, we we don't know. Most of us, we don't know. We don't know. And these are the things, like I said, we need to get this campaign into our community, get our people informed, and you know what? Pray that the application is done, that they apply it to themselves. That's the key. Because the thing is, we could go there, we educate. Application is the key. Application. We have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere.
You touched on a good point in regards to education. There's a school in Chicago, I believe it's University of Chicago, which
Yeah.
is uh, considered the Ivy League of the Midwest, because they
Yeah.
compare the education system to Stanford, Yale, Harvard, Brown, and so forth. That's going to be the most expensive school to attend in America.
Of
Their tuition
course.
is going to be $84,000 a year. Their president makes about close to $10 million a year. See, that's the access that we don't have.
Exactly.
Everything here in this country is based on money, and that's something that we're not well educated about as a community and as a society. We just don't understand that. How do we keep money? How do we remunerate money?
Hmm.
How do we monetize our culture? All these different things we don't have a firm understanding of.
Yeah. But I promise you, if we if we if we really get together, get in this organization, you know, focus on the campaign into our community, we can change it. Because I always said that there are a lot of educators. Simple in New York. I spoke to educators in New York, but the what they see, what they see is life insurance, and they already have the perception about life insurance. But the thing is, they if they are not educated about life insurance, you see, because when it comes to life insurance, there's so many, there is so many reasons why a lot of wealthy people are invested into life insurance, which so many of us don't know about. We don't know about it. You see, so when you look at when you hear the word life insurance, oh, I don't want no life insurance, I don't want no life insurance, but you don't know what is life insurance.
Right.
You don't know what is life insurance. Because when you sit down and you educated about the different features and benefits that a life insurance give you, you know what, it just have you with your mouth wide open. All you say is wow. But so many wealthy families have been using it over time. Over time, I was just seeing a post earlier on one of our group me text from WSB, whereby this person bought $124 million life insurance policy. I said to myself, "Wow, $124 million life insurance policy. Do you do you even start to sit and imagine what generational wealth that would create if that man passed away?"
That's a very massive amount. That's a nice amount.
Exactly. But another thing is that if you look at those type of policies, do you know that the NFL, those are the type of policies that they set up on players?
I didn't know that.
Of course, because you know why? Anything happened to these guys, even because the thing is the money is recycled into the NFL, NBA, because they have to give these people life payment. Once they had played and put all their life in NBA, the NBA serves them, serves them for life, just like being a president, or like what you said, just like being a president of the United States.
Hmm.
So there's a lot. There is a lot to life insurance. There is a lot. That is why the companies like Nationwide, Pacific Life, Aegon, Transamerica, you know, Voya. I mean, that's why these companies are huge, because of the amount of money, assets that that they're holding. And when you look at Aegon, like we always say about Aegon, which is actually the company that oversees Transamerica, um, which WSB work with. When you look at Aegon, that's one of the company that usually say that's a company, Pablo, that would never go under, would never go under because of the amount of assets that this company held. I mean, it's unbelievable, unbelievable. But the thing is, these people are paying us to go out there, educate people, set up these policies for them. They pay us good money for it.
Okay.
You know, so this is something, like I say, man. We supposed to religiously take this our own priority in life. Take your own priority in life. It's not. I'm walking today. I'm talking to you, but you know what? What can happen tomorrow? I don't know. Am I protected? Am I protected for tomorrow, which I don't even sure what's gonna happen for me? I don't know. Those are the questions that we always have to ask ourselves. Can I lay down here on my back tomorrow? And the thing is, there's there's something that's gonna continue pay my pay pay me while I'm lying down. Those are things that you have to think about. That even if I don't have to go, but you know what, I'm lying down here because I got a stroke. That you know what, I have a policy that's gonna start paying me money. That's the life that we're supposed to live when we live in here in US. That's the type of education we're supposed to educate our people when they live here. You don't have to you don't have to be a burden for your community. You don't have to be a burden for your loved ones. It's just taking your own initiative to put the proper things in place in order for you to protect yourself and to protect them from all these mental strains.
Yeah,
And it
and
can be done.
I just put the website worldsystembuilder.com. I put that in the chat so people could take a look at it,
Yeah.
and you could share your information with the viewers
Oh yeah.
just in case they need to contact you or if they have any questions.
Yeah, if they need to contact me, I mean, well, my number is 773 297 4926. And if you want to get a hold of me through email, you can contact me at dada 4774 at yahoo.com. And I'll be willing to share our campaign with any groups that are willing to you know get online. I do it just like how we do Mabriga Garinagu. I do screenshots and all these stuff. We Zoom presentation. We able to do that. So feel free to contact me, and you'll be the person that can actually help us campaign in our community, in your community, and make the world a better place, I guess.
Yeah, we are on this campaign to uplift and empower the community, and I think that's a good idea to do a virtual presentation. That's
Yeah.
something definitely have to uh, give to the people. I mean, because that's very empowering. I mean, there's a lot because I know there's a lot of insurance companies and people just don't know where to go and who to
Right.
trust and I've heard stories in regards to insurance, and there's a large distrust in that particular sector.
Hmm. And the thing is, just like I said, I'm in agreement with that there is mistrust in the industry, and hence the reason is that our approach is usually educating people. Give people the education. When you are educated, then you have the ability to make proper decisions for yourself. Because if you look at the old industry, that's where we were trying to get away from, that old type industry. You don't just be selling people stuff. Educate people first.
Right,
Educate your clients. When you start to educate them, they able to make those decisions for themselves. And the thing is, you actually have people on your books. You have clients for life, and that's what you need. Because just like we usually have people go through the five step workshop that we do. We even have people that you can go take your book and repeat the workshops, repeat them, go through them again, so that you know whatever you had missed out first, you go again a second time. Because I mean, we are human. We are human. Sometimes we have to hear stuff over and over for it to resonate with us. So after doing these workshops, sometimes most of the people, they become client, and sometimes some of them become an agent.
right.
But because the fact is that you already understand that what we have, there's the need for what we have. And next thing that you always end up doing, you say, you know what? I think I can do this too. And when once two of these things start to hit you, you start to take a passion first in yourself, your families. Then you want, you know what? You start to take it out to the community. So that's basically our approach. Educate the people. The people make their own decision. Then you know what? Soon people become either a client, or you know what? They become a client and an agent. And next thing, a campaigner. Campaigning the same thing. Let us educate America. Let us educate America. Our mission is to educate 1 million people by 2020, and we are on track of doing that. And I always said I love that we can go out there now, even with the symposium and even before the symposium, to get our people in line with that.